Hello everyone and welcome back to a Gran Turismo time trial video where as you can see in the background, it's wet. Yes, we are in wet weather at Fuji as well, if you did see the volcano in the background. It's a short circuit, so we don't have to do the old chicane there. We are only in the Subaru WRX Gr.4 car. We're not in any other Gr.4 car. And you've got a choice of racing inters or wets. Pick the wets. You start on inters, but I would recommend picking the wets. Avoid the racing line. The goal estimate around the 151.1 there. I do suspect the times are going to go into the 47s. If you enjoy this video, as always, do give it a like and do subscribe to the channel to stay in touch with all the latest content. But without further ado, let's jump into this one and let me show you how to get those 2 million credits. So we're on the wet tyres then. We're going to head towards turn 1, and as you can see, I'm using the racing line as well. Now, I want to avoid that at all costs really here. Now, as we head towards turn 1, you've got the start of the grandstand on the left-hand side. And in fact, on the grandstand, it goes dark grey, light grey, dark grey, light grey. I actually use the end of the dark grey bit. So it starts with the grandstand. You can see it more clearly there, dark grey. And at the end of that dark grey bit is when I hit the brakes, okay? I'm going to brake in a straight line all the way down to second gear. You see I cross the racing line there, and then I come off it. Now, I stay off it on the exit. Be careful power oversteer on exits. It can and will happen. The slippy stuff on the left-hand side you don't want to be on. But we continue on out of there as we head towards this left-hander. This is one of a few corners where the racing line is actually a little bit helpful in terms of you want to go onto it. So on the left-hand side, we've got the light grey into dark grey into light grey. Now, you want to brake inside this dark grey area as it hits the edge of your screen, okay? So as it goes off the screen is when you're going to hit the brakes. Drop to third gear and turn in. Now, you are going to be on the racing line a little bit. Just be ready to go on throttle the second you come off it. The reason you do that is that if you delay your turn in much later, you're going to get huge weight transfer and you're going to have issues. Throughout this corner, you can see I stay in fourth gear. I'm just letting the car roll, lift, and staying just to the left-hand side of that racing line. And you need to make sure you just bounce the throttle there. Not on, off hard, but bounce it. As we come over towards the right-hand side, then the end of the curb on the left-hand side is your brake marker. I want you to brake in a straight line. You are going to cross the racing line, so you will have to be careful here. But as you cross it, it will then gain grip, and you can see there, I start to release the brakes. I clip the racing line on the left-hand side, but don't worry too much. You can see I get a bit of power oversteer on exit as well in second gear. If you do struggle with any power oversteer at any point in this lap, just stay in third gear. It does work, and you can still get gold in terms of the time and those 2 million credits. We're going to head towards this fast right-hander. Now, on the right side, we've got the orange painted barrier or the start of the Dunlop billboard on the right side. I highly advise you use the orange painted barrier here as just an initial phase of braking. I'm just to the right of the racing line. I'm going to hit the brakes, and then I want to release the brakes before I get to the racing line. That's what I'm going to do right here. So I release, I turn in, I cut the inside, making sure I keep 2 wheels on the red and white curbing, and I continue on through there. I could have done that a little bit better, but even so, it's still done. On the right side, we've got the lamppost. You can use that as a brake marker. Alternatively, if the ghost is not in the way, you can also use the grass, change into the light green stuff on the left-hand side. Both of these are good brake markers. I want you to keep towards the left-hand side, but then come back towards the racing line just so you can straighten up on exits and really accelerate out of the corner like I do right there. Keeping towards the left-hand side, remaining very tight there on the exit. Even if you go on the grass a little bit here, it's worthwhile doing to avoid that racing line. The end of the curb there is your brake marker for this left-hander, okay? And you're just going to trail brake. You're just reducing the steering. You just need to make sure you do not touch that racing line. See here, I'm staying very tight, very tight, very tight. I slow it down, avoid the bollard on the left-hand side, straighten up and accelerate out. Third gear on exit can be useful there as well. The final corner on the right side, we have the orange painted barrier. Notice how the racing line stays very tight. So you want to avoid that line, okay? So you want a wide line. Stake on the outside and then come back. It'll also allow you to straighten up the exit. Because if you're turning and you clip that racing line, what's going to happen here is your car's going to oversteer because there's less grip there. Notice there, I actually have to come off the throttle a little bit because I know I'm going to oversteer because I turned in a bit too tight. We continue towards the line then, and this lap is going to be a 1:48.3. And I'd say I think 47s are possible here. I definitely saw more time in this lap, but I want to get this video out for you as we cross the line now. You can follow this ghost as well. Just look for that time on the leaderboard or my name as well. Now we go to the pad lap then, so similar situation on the left-hand side, the dark grey bit there. At the end of it, we're going to hit the brakes. Drop to second gear. We start to release as we go around the corner. We then start to accelerate. A little bit of a wiggle there, nothing major as we continue on out of this corner. I actually found the pad fairly good for this time trial, if I'm brutally honest with you, so you should be okay, pad players. Left side, the dark grey bit there, we hit the brakes, we turn in, we're on the racing line. When we go off it, we start to accelerate. Then we get off the racing line again on the left-hand side, keeping just to the left of this racing line then. And notice here how I'm bouncing the throttle as I go through this corner to make sure the car just stays on the inside, but not on the racing line. Over towards the right side, end of the curve on the left, we hit the brakes, we turn in. Second gear, we just hit the brakes a bit late there. That's going to cost us a 10th there as we leave that corner. But now we can breathe and think about this. Very hard right-hander. It is hard to get this right because you need to be aggressive for it. So once again, we're going to head down here. I'm following my own ghost here. We're looking for the orange paint barrier. We hit the brakes. We drop to third gear. We turn in. We clip it. We clip it very nice here, actually. Arguably better than my wheel lap, and I said I could have done that better. Lamppost on the right. We're going to hit the brakes, and then we turn in very late here. We want to straighten up on the exit. There we go. Keep it towards the left here. Notice how I stay on the grass. As I said, I want to stay off that racing line. It gives me a lot more grip here on the wet weather tyres. Now, just get this corner slightly wrong because I turned in a little bit too early. Once again, costing me a 10th of a second. The final corner here, you notice how we stay out wide. We're going to bring it back. We need to straighten up as best as we can. We have to lift a little bit there because we get it slightly wrong. And due to that, yes, it's a bit iffy. That last corner, very hard to get right. You want to stay out wide and really straighten up the exit. And that way you get the best performance out of the corner. But even so, we're going to head towards the line. You can follow this ghost as well. If you want a slightly slower ghost, just look for this time on the leaderboard. It's on the pad as well. That's a 1:48.825. What we'll do now is we'll jump to chase cam just to explain it a little bit more here. So on the left-hand side, the grandstand starts it. Notice the dark grey there. Hit the brakes there. Straight line braking all the way to the outside of the corner, just off the racing line. And then we come back here. Be careful of power, obviously, on exit in second gear. If you do struggle with that, once again, just stay in third gear for that corner. You will make it around absolutely fine. On the left-hand side, we've got white, then light grey, then dark grey. In the middle of the dark grey, we hit the brakes, we turn in. Once we are off the racing line, we hit the accelerator. Notice red and white curbing is track limit, so you can stay on that absolutely fine. Now, just keep to the left of the racing line. You can't see it right now, which is why that racing line is so useful, and it's really nice to show it in this video. Let's get it over towards the right side. The end of the curve on the left, we hit the brakes, and we start to release brakes, we turn in, and then instantly hit the throttle. This is an all-wheel drive car. Lots of grip there. Yes, you'll suffer a bit of power oversteer, but it should grip again, and then you can continue on down towards this right-hander. Remember, on this right-hander, we're looking for the orange painted barrier or the start of the Dunlop sign, whichever one you prefer here. We hit the brakes, we're going to turn in, clip the inside, and continue on. Notice I dropped under 70 miles an hour. I didn't do that on the pad, I don't believe. Lamppost on the right is a nice brake marker for this one. We turn in. Remember, later apex so we can straighten up the exit. That's what we do. Keep towards the left-hand side here, even more than I'm doing right now, just to make sure you avoid that racing line as we come back across. Avoid that bollard there. That can invalidate this lap and the next lap as well. Yes, it's very awkward. The orange painted barrier there is your final marker on that right-hand side. We turn back across here, and you can see there I have to straighten up a little bit, which forces that issue then on the exit. You really have to take a wider line than that to come back to really nail this start-finish straight. We're going to head towards the line, though, here, and this is that 1:48.3 that you saw before on the bumper cam, and that is how you do this lap. Well, some of you may be asking, how do I get to this point? How do I actually try and get 2 million credits very quickly indeed? Well, here we are on the menu, and I want you to go to Sport Mode in the top right-hand side, which becomes available around menu item 10. We then have online time trials on the right-hand side, so we're going to click into that. These are the current two available. We've got Alsace in the Porsche, and we've got the Fuji International Speedway Short in the Subaru, the latest one. You can see the gold times in the top left, so currently a 1:51.6. I said it's a 1:51.1 potentially that you're going to need here. We enter in that car, we click OK, and then we get to this menu here. What I want you to do is go to car settings, and I want you to change the tyres from racing intermediates to racing heavy wets. That will give you the most grip and the best chance of getting those 2 million credits. What I also want you to do is go back into this, go on the assist settings. See, I've already got driving line enabled, but you just press X on that, then you click OK, and then come out of this menu, and that will be enabled. And that is how you have a go at this time trial and the best chances of getting those 2 million credits. Remember, this is the fastest way to get it. Yes, you get it 2 weeks later, but if you do this in 10 minutes, 20 minutes, even half an hour, guess what? Quicker than any race on Gran Turismo 7. If you did enjoy this video, as always, do get a like, do subscribe to the channel to stay in touch with all the latest content. That's going to be it for me now, folks. Do check out my partners down below. This lap should be on Coach Dave Academy at some point today or tomorrow, and there are 2 videos there to check out, including the latest video where Plebs of the Week has been updated. Thank you as always, and I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.